Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, and welcome to the Diva Days of Our Lives and Friends. Tonight we're on our 420th Blog Talk radio show. You can check out all our shows here and all our interviews. We're also on Twitter at Diva of DOOL, and we're also on Facebook, and you can find us on iTunes. I'm Marianne, and you can find me at Mama_Hooch on Twitter. And tonight we have the Diva, Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
Hello.
And we also have Jen with us.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Jen.
I'm at REXJDK at Twitter.
Okay, and we're hoping maybe Anna will call in tonight. She's at Causey Hooch. And also check out our friends at Bob Hapka and at Amy Hapka on Twitter, and they're also on Facebook. Also check out at Teo Penglis. And at Lauren Coslow, and at Kill Trip USA with Ian Buchanan. They are also all on Twitter. So how's everybody tonight? Everybody still surviving their quarantine?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, me too. And did anybody watch the show that was on tonight? The One World Together? That they had on? No? Yeah, it was pretty good. It was different. They had like Elton John and the Rolling Stones, and they were all in their homes, performing.
Cool.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah. The Rolling, they showed each of the Rolling Stones in their own house. I'm there. Oh, my God, I'm looking at them. I said, them guys have to be pushing 80 by now.
Yeah.
Right? They've got to be in their, they have to be. They have to be in their mid-70s, right? I'm thinking.
I would think.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking, well, that still sounded pretty good. And then Elton John was on, and a lot of them were like playing, they had it was just either just like on a piano or like a guitar. They had no background you know what I mean? It was just a raw kind of like performance. So
cool.
It's kind of different hearing those songs, like that. So it was pretty good. Okay. So everybody watched the show all week?
Mhm. Yep. I got to most of Fridays.
Yeah, I know mine always gets, I had the chance to watch it live for the last 2 weeks, but our secretary of what's her name? Dr. Rachel Levine comes on all the time and gives her Pennsylvania update. It's always at 2 o'clock and always when Days is on. So, and I have to watch it then later. So, But anyway, yeah. So anyway, so what did everybody think of the show? I guess the shit hit the fan this week, I guess, so to speak. So did you have any favorite parts or the big reveal? Or how did you like the way Sarah played it? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
I've been tuning her out. I mean, I knew she was going to be hysterical.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just not into Sarah.
No. Kind of, does anybody feel bad for Xander?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
Yeah. He should have known, but it seems like you could just see the look on his face as now what? And I felt bad for poor Justin. He's there. Justin's probably figuring, what the heck is going on here? Because he kept asking Sarah. You knew something was wrong, just the way she was like going. She didn't tell him right away. They started with their vows and stuff before she just didn't come running through the door like screaming at him. She kind of let him on a little bit to start saying their vows. So until she told him that she found out about it. So I guess she is running away with the baby. I guess we see her on the Titan plane. But don't you think somebody could have turned that plane around?
You would
Xander.
think.
They said she had no flight plan. You could have thought, yeah. Or even Brady. They could have got Brady to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seemed, yeah. So,
I'm sorry, Xander got off. Eric should have kicked the crap out of him.
What's that, Xander?
Xander got off easy. Eric should have kicked the crap out of him.
Oh, when Eric came to confront him. Yeah. 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 Surprised he didn't. I think, yeah. So Brady hasn't confronted him, right? Brady hasn't confronted him yet. No, because I guess last we said Brady. Yeah, Brady found out and then went to find Kristen, and he knew where to find because Kristen was at the gravesite because she had just got done holding the babies. She was in that program where you hold the babies, and she didn't want to give the baby back.
Yep, and got kicked out of the program.
Marlena, yeah, she got kicked out of the program. Marlena kind of had to talk her down. So Marlena knew where she was. So then she told Brady, and Brady went to find her and more or less told her, that Rachel was alive. So she was all confused, as you would think she would be. But did you see the other? And when he told her about Xander, that it was Xander that switched the babies, did you see the old Kristen come out?
Yep.
I'm thinking we're going to be seeing. Yeah. About the, you can, and Brady kind of like looking at her like, because she kept saying, about Xander. Oh, he's going to pay. I'm going to make him pay. And it's already going through her head like what she was going to do, I think. So, yeah. So, have you seen the spoilers for next week? About what Kristen's going to do. She's going to stab Victor, I guess. Victor keeps hanging on. I don't know. Do you think this will do Victor in?
I doubt it.
He's in a hospital like every other month.
Yeah, there's always, what was going to happen to Victor, or is John Aniston going to want to retire, and is this just going to be it for Victor? But he just keeps seeming to come back. So, so I guess Kristen finds Brady told her that Xander did it, but I guess she kind of figures out that it's Victor was involved too, I suppose. She goes after him, I suppose. I didn't see that. So let's see. So that's the whole baby thing, and I guess she's off to wherever she goes. Does she go back? Does she go to Paris? And she runs, I guess that's in the spoilers too, she runs into Rex. So Rex, I guess, is coming back.
Oh.
They keep bringing. Yeah. I have to admit, I kind of liked them when they first come on, Sarah and Rex. But I do like Sarah and Xander. Do you think that Sarah will go back with Xander?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, or what they're going to do, or find somebody new for Xander, or I don't know. Not that how they're going to do this storyline, how long. Or is she going to go crazy, go to the dark side, and I don't know, it's all hell, but what's going to happen there, but kind of that story's blown open. So, yeah. How did you guys like the Steve and all his visitors into his hospital room? Everybody had talks with him. kind of did you like the who did you like the best, the conversation or the?
Oh, I thought Justin and Steve was a pretty intense conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin held his own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no, I
yeah,
really enjoyed those things. Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where he kind of was just pointing out the things, you know, to Steve, although it was Stefano that was doing them, but yeah, more or less kind of pointing out that they have a long history, but their history really wasn't, you know, he caused a lot of problems for Kayla during that time. Yeah, so I have to admit, I like Steve and Kayla, but there's something about Justin and Kayla that I like too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla and Steve have all this. That obviously has a great chemistry and all that, and they've been together off and on for 30 years and have 2 kids. And but the thing is, though, Steve has always been unstable, and you know, he's always, you know, running out and doing adventures, and you know, when you're pushing 60 or 60-ish, it's, you know, it's kind of time to hang up the adventuring. And then you got Justin, who's very stable and a good guy, and he treats her well. At the same time, too, though, Kayla does tend to like the bad boy, and Justin doesn't. Justin cheated on Adrianne a few times, but other than that, he's not really a bad boy. Or he was, but that was.
I don't know about that one.
So, yeah, about 30 years ago, but yeah, Adrianne kind of straightened him out.
Yeah, but when I think of Justin. Yeah, when I think of Justin, I don't think of him as a bad boy, though, I guess. When you think of Steve, you do. Yeah.
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 But, yeah, I like these type of triangles, though. I hate the triangles when it's the super couple and a crazy interloper. Those are boring. No one's really cheering for the interloper. At least this is a real, legit love triangle.
Yeah. With decent people.
Right.
Yes, it's nice.
Right. Yeah, and then you could understand why, thinking that Steve divorced her and all that she went through and all that Justin went through, and it wasn't like real rushed because you knew that whole year went past, and they were together and helped each other, and like you were saying, Carrie, like she was even talking to Jennifer, and she said to her how like. That she felt safe with Justin. He's the safe, and she feels safe and happy. And she kind of pointed out with Steve, it's more like an adventure, and it's that danger that is still attractive to her. But it's kind of like she likes both. She loves both. She says, "How can that be?" Which I guess it can be. So, but I know when you were tweeting live. You were saying something about, because at the end on Friday she said she comes into Steve's room and she tells Steve that she made a decision.
And I said, drag it out, girl. Let them fight over you. Let them both.
But we don't know what that decision is. Yeah.
Well, she didn't have to make up her mind that quick. Let them drag it out. Jeez.
You know, I'm surprised they did not drag out Steve having an amnesia.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yes, quick. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a while until he would remember. Yeah. Yeah, those were all good conversations there. And then also with Jack. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I actually liked Jack in that scene.
Jack with Steve, yeah. And he more or less tells Steve that he needs to fight for Kayla. But he did tell Steve, he says, well, just to let you know, I also told Justin the same thing.
Yep.
So, yeah. No. But said something about he remembers talking to you makes my head hurt. I remember talking to you makes my head hurt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any conversations they used to have,
Yeah, Jack was being very highfalutin the whole conversation and using big words.
Yeah, he used a big word and he said, what? So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm
good.
surprised Stephen Nichols did not catch the slip up though.
What slip up?
How he was talking about Adrianne when they were kids. They didn't know each other.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't grow up together at all, right?
No.
Yeah.
Didn't. Yeah. Yeah. None of them did, really. Yeah. Oh, no. Writers must have forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, like, Steve had that chip taken out, so he doesn't really Kayla was telling him everything he did, kidnap Marlena. Oh, the one thing Justin said to him, the one thing that I guess really he made it known that he tried to hurt Kayla by kidnapping her, and then with the gas coming in. And then Steve got really upset because he says, how could that be? There had to be some way that I would have realized that I would have never done that to Kayla. So, yeah. So that was Justin's way of, that was that, score one for Justin. So, yeah. But when he doesn't remember anything that he did as Stefano, but yet Princess Gina, like Hope, can remember everything that she did. So I don't know. For different chips, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because she was, I don't know. Isn't that kind of strange?
She got the advantage.
She's had it out a little bit longer. Maybe it just takes time.
Maybe. Okay.
But, I mean, she was so devastated. She remembered trying to suffocate Jennifer with a pillow, and, she was really upset.
Mm-hmm. And she says if Sierra wouldn't have come in. Yeah, so there was just those few scenes there with Hope. Really haven't seen Hope too much lately. And I don't think we haven't seen Kate at all, have we, in the last 2 weeks? Because I was trying to think of Kate's
or
scenes,
Tony.
but I don't. Or Tony. No. Oh, that's another thing we need to talk about. Tony. Actually, Anna was supposed to be on, too. I heard there were some scenes. She was supposed to have some scenes with Gabby. Other scenes with Gabby, and I think those were cut, too. I think Nikki was telling me she thought that there were some scenes with Gabby and Anna. But the scenes with completely cut off, and Ron tweeted about it. And he put the whole scene on Twitter, which, didn't you find that kind of odd, like, to read it? Like, I think they should put it on the Days app. I saw people suggesting that. Post it on the Days app so we can – you have to see the performances. You have to see, like, Billy Flynn and Teo Penglis doing these scenes. You can read it, but, I mean, if you read it, it's not as impactful as, like, if you see them. And I guess what it was they were just going to destroy the chip. And so Tony was more, it sounded like Tony was more reluctant, more or less telling Chad, like Chad wanted to be done with his father. He said, well, if we do this, this is going to be the end of, our father and stuff. So I'm thinking all those scenes, and there was like 6 different scenes, I think. Or it's different. I mean, it was So and the only thing that how Ron explained it was they ran out of time.
Oh, my God.
Like, how do you run out of time? But, how do you run out of time? And I'm thinking of a lot of other scenes you could have cut instead of those 2, because that was kind of like an important way to end that storyline. Yeah, very important. Yeah. I don't know, I don't know if he himself has any say in that, or if that's up to the editing department. I don't know, because if I would be him, I would be very upset. And you would think even Ken Corday would have some sense, like, these are very important scenes. But there's been other scenes that have been cut, too. I think somebody said there were scenes with Will and Sonny were supposed to be at Adrianne's gravesite.
Yeah.
And those were cut too. Yeah. So I guess there's probably more things that get cut that we don't realize. That he doesn't. Sometimes he maybe doesn't put out there. I don't know why he put that out there. Did he put it out there because he knew people would be, maybe some people would be upset, or I don't know. But I don't know.
Well,
But or maybe to try to show people.
The spoilers that
He has?
get posted. Yeah, when spoilers get posted, sometimes those scenes get cut. So everybody kind of knew there was Tony and Chad scenes, and there's a lot of scenes. They cut all the scenes, not like one of them. It was 3 or 4. Yeah, a lot of Yeah, a lot of people complain too. Like when the John Marlena scenes get cut, he posts transcripts for those too. He's been doing it.
Yeah.
For a couple of months now, posting stuff that's been cut.
Yeah. Like, okay, I can see maybe cutting some of the scenes, but maybe even to have one important scene, like at least have that in so that, because it's not going to make sense now. I don't know. There might be, but I think next week there's supposed to be some scenes. I think Tony's supposed to be on next week too, something about now with Gabby, this whole DiMera, who's going to be in charge or something. I don't know. Whether those will get cut or not, I don't know. But just don't understand how things can go long like that. I don't know. But anyway, that's an interesting part of I guess, the soap world, I guess. So we didn't really have nothing about the DiMeras this past week. It basically was the whole baby reveal, and then the whole Stephen and Kayla thing, and then we did have
Orpheus.
John. The whole thing with Orpheus, Orpheus and Evan, and John and Marlena. And Carrie, you liked Marlena's pajamas. I saw.
Yes, they were beautiful.
I saw you tweeted that. And then when I watched it, she had the purple silk pajamas. Yeah. And John was sitting there watching her wake up, and he brought her breakfast in bed, and of course they were the strawberries and whipped cream. But they didn't feed each other, right? They didn't even go into that at all. Maybe they cut that part. John and Marlena, see, fans would be upset. But so he finally tells her that Orpheus is alive. And did you hear how he explained it? Something about, I guess, at that time, remember he has Marlena and, the ISA kind of come in, and he has immunity now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So he got immunity. So not only, but John thinks now that he's in jail for the kidnapping, but little does he know that he also got immunity from that. So then we have, Evan? Evan gets released because, I don't know, Orpheus said he wasn't involved, that he was the only one involved in the kidnapping. So then his lawyer shows up.
Yep.
With Zoe. How's everybody like Zoe? Do you think, Carrie, you said you thought she was going to be somebody for Rafe?
Yeah.
He's leaving though.
That was my guess.
Yeah.
But I like her.
She's too much like Britt.
Yeah. Well, I remember her. When I see her, I think, oh, Britt. But then that's just the only way I know her.
Yep.
Britt on GH. But of course, we find out that she is Evan's sister. And back in the day, Orpheus kidnapped Marlena, and she was caring for his kids. So right, like Carol, like you said, who do we see another Marlena kidnapping?
Oh no,
coming
please.
Up?
Well, she hasn't been kidnapped in like a week. I mean, it's up there with Sheila getting kidnapped and being tied to that bed in the cabin. You know what I mean? It's like, that's my guess. But someone said no, they thought Orpheus would go after Steve instead. And like, well, he's at Marlena's apartment. He's not with Steve.
Right. And also in your tweets, you made a good point. Marlena just goes and he goes and opens the door. She doesn't ask, who is it?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a little peephole. Her
She
door's
should have a
unlocked. I mean,
peephole
she just
after-
opens it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think he's supporting Eric, wouldn't you?
I don't know. And her husband's like a guy, big top secret spy in the ISA. You'd think he would have some security there. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She just opens the door, and there he is. And then she's even worried about him. Not only that, she hears the door, and he's on her mind because she's thinking of the things that he did to her, and she still opens the door. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, I don't know. So it could be going there with the whole kidnapping thing and just rehashing another story from the past. I don't know. What did you think of Ben choking? The old Ben came out again. The necktie killer. Come out and choking Evan. Although I do like to see Ben in his bad ways again.
Yeah.
That craziness come out. Mm-hmm.
We don't want him to be too good, you know?
No, not too good. No. But Sierra stopped him, of course. And I guess the spoilers say that Zoe's going to what?
No, go ahead. Honey.
Yeah, that Zoe's going to sue for custody of David. So I don't.
I'm not interested in the whole. I'm not interested in the whole David thing at all.
Me either.
No. Well, no. And then Rafe's going to be leaving anyway. We all know that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And now he's trying to tell David, I guess, that Evan is his father. So, I don't know.
Yes.
Where all that's going to go.
Sierra told Rafe to tell David the truth, and she's probably right.
Mhm. Yeah, because eventually he's gonna. It always comes out. So somebody, you find out. Yeah, I don't know how long this Zoe and Evan are supposed to be on, or how long they're going to be on. So, and I also heard like most of the what's that? That most of the other soaps are done now, but Days has shows clear into October yet.
Oh wow!
So. That's a big difference. Most of the primetime shows and the soaps, because of the pandemic is they're done filming, but Days is so far ahead that they have new shows up until October. So.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Days can pick up some ratings since everybody else is
maybe.
a rerun. Yeah, maybe the ratings will probably go up.
So I don't know. The Young and the Restless ones are good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I heard they're supposed to they still have some shows left, so they're going to intermittently put like old shows in with the newer ones that they have left, so that they can stretch it out a little bit. But they're going to play some older shows. But yeah, I don't know. Well, and I guess next week. Brendan Barash is coming back. He made an announcement he's back. And his characters, whether it's a new character or a twin, his name is Jake. Yeah. Every time I hear Jake, I just think of Jake from State Farm. That's the name, Jake. Okay. Yeah. I said, from State. When they said Jake, I kept thinking, from State Farm.
Yeah.
So if he comes in khakis and a red shirt, then
yeah.
But So I don't know why he's Jake, or if he just doesn't know who he is, or if it's an evil twin, or a completely different character that just happens to look like Stefan. So I don't know. But I think somehow Gabby sees him. Gabby hasn't been on, I don't think, at all this week either.
I don't think she was on last either.
No, I don't think so either. Ever since the other week, since when Tony and Anna were on and she took his eye out and everything, I don't think they've been on since all that happened. Kate or Gabby, maybe a little bit with Chad. I think Kate had a scene with Chad. So I don't know what's going on there. Oh, I did see something, a spoiler, about Kate gets her a job or something with Abe or something, or asks Abe for a job, working for Abe. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but
could they be going for a Kate and Abe pairing?
I don't know.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. I don't know. But I thought Kate was still in with the DeMeras. Didn't Chad want her to do something with a company or something? I don't know. I thought that was the last that I had heard. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm thinking just those storylines were the main three, right? Those three. And now we had a little bit of Sonny and Will.
Yeah.
They were kind of going back to the April Fool's show where Sonny told Will he had the dream about him sleeping with Leo, and that was the whole discussion again about having another kid. So, but yeah, they brought up that April Fool's show.
I miss Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leo was. Yeah, he was good. He was good on there.
Well, I want to go back to Sonny for a minute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Chad bought out her shares, so she should be sitting on piles of money. That's what I understand about this. Kate should have a ton of bucks. She can start her own damn business like she did before. She shouldn't have to beg anybody for a job. It doesn't make any sense.
True. Yeah, she should start whatever. What didn't she have Conus Wilhelmina or something? Wasn't that her?
No, she had Hearth and Home.
And then the thing with Gabby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she had a lifestyle brand. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that when Tony and Anna were on too? Were they on during that? I don't know. Oh, they had some kind of fashion business. That was them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something. They had some kind of business.
Oh no, they were in advertising.
A while back. Advertising.
They were doing advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anybody hear any other spoilers or anything? Coming up?
No.
Or any other day's news? No. Yeah, I can't think. Anything else? Oh, then we had some scenes with Steve and Sonny. He was just telling him about, they were talking about Adrianne.
Yeah.
And, of course, his dad, Justin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Sonny basically telling Steve to back off.
Yeah, he was saying about, his dad makes Kayla happy. So he's of course he's for his dad. Team Justin, I guess. Team Justin, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. So, I don't know who Kayla. I guess Kayla, I thought maybe Steve would tell Kayla, because he's so upset what he did to Kayla. This is going to tell her, go with Justin. He's going to try to push her away or something. It's kind of, I thought what he would do, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. Oh. All right, I don't know. That's all I got in my notes. That's the only things that I can remember that happened this week. Oh, how did you like the way the everybody played, like Brady when he found out? I thought he did a really good, like the look at it, how he played it, and Kristen too, Stacy. So they did well when they found out the news.
Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed it, and I was wondering how Eric Martsolf was going to play it, and I think since he kind of suspected, I don't think it was a total shock to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was what I enjoyed too was seeing Nicole being so happy for him. I thought that was, because her boyfriend's in pain and she seemed really happy for Brady. I thought that was pretty nice.
Mhm. Yeah, and this time Nicole did didn't try to keep it a secret. She told
she
right
did the
away.
right thing.
Yeah.
And nobody's mad at her or Eric, and that's good.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh. All right. Anything else? Anybody have anything else?
Nope.
No. All right. Everybody stay safe then.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys too.
Okay. All right. I guess that we didn't get Anna tonight, so hope everything's going okay. I think everything's getting a little better for Anna, so hopefully we'll be we'll be seeing her soon. So, all right.
All right.
Okay.
Good night,
have a good night.
Ladies.
Night. Good night. Bye-bye.